Hey guys, Omni here. Welcome back for the finale of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. It has been a wild ride. I know this has been a very divisive season, but I have enjoyed every episode up until this point, man. It's been just insane. I think the layering of all these different themes and ideas and stories that have all just kind of building upon one another has just been such a fun ride. I'm really worried about what's going to happen to Din, what they're going to do with him behind closed doors. Now that he's separated from the group, Paz is gone, and everybody else is just trying to make it out at this point. Gideon has kind of cornered them into a trap, and now I know there's a lot of illusion, a lot of questions about who's the spy, were they betrayed, and like I've talked about, if you've seen it in my videos and in my tweets and stuff like that, some commenters had shed some light in my eyes that there might not actually be a traitor, and that we're looking in vain, that this is all just the machinations of Gideon's plans unfolding. And there's a really good reason to that, and I'll hold off on that. If you haven't seen any of my videos, if you haven't seen my tweets about the explanation for that, if it proves true, and there's no a reveal in this, we'll just go over it again at the end. But guys, let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is in watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes to my reaction to the entire episode. Get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover here on the channel. Over there, you also get to suggest and vote on what movies we react to each month. We got an open poll right now for this one, and we got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, so sure, go to way support the channel. Guys, if you enjoyed this reaction, really appreciate it. If you leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. We got more Star Wars stuff coming your way in, 2 weeks? Give or take, we'll have Season 2 of Visions out for you guys as well. I'm really looking forward to that one. With that all said, guys, let's go ahead and hop into the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3. Here we go. All right, right back into it, man. Here we go.
Come in. They're sending up fighters to destroy the fleet. Evacuate everyone. Use the capital ship as a decoy. We can't leave them in the air. I'll return.
There it is. I don't think any of them are a spy. Yo, nice, dude. Yo! Din! Yo! Yo! No. Yes! Oh.
I'm okay.
The medical spray. No.
Will you cut me loose?
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to be brave for me, okay? We can't keep running. If we don't take out Moff Gideon, this will never end. You with me?
No! Yo! Let's go! The return. Yo! Oh, that's such a good visual, man. All right, here they come. The nest is active. It really is like shaking a hornet's nest.
R5.
Aww.
Buddy, you're gonna have to scomp into the base and get me the location of Moff Gideon's command center. I'm counting on you.
Come on, buddy. Be the hero. You were always meant to be.
R5, how are those schematics coming?
I love this low rumbling of the theme, man.
Got it.
Hell yeah!
That's works the fleet command. The scouting party has been ambushed by Imperial remnants. They're launching fighters to destroy the fleet. Load the gauntlets and send all available troops down as reinforcements. Leave the capital ship behind as a decoy. Bo-Katan needs our help.
Wow, man.
I'll take care of the cruiser. Everyone go. Move. Go. Go, move.
Oh. Dude. Oh, they're going down. Oh, nice! Except for this, not nice. Come on, Axe. Dude, it's giving me chills, man. But I'm also so nervous.
R5. There's some barrier shields. I'm gonna need you to deactivate them one at a time. On my command. Deactivate the first shield.
Ooh. God! Bye!
It's not working.
Dude, nice, and he's locking them out too. Oh yeah, this is gonna go our pace, man. God damn, man, Din is getting it. Dude, that was so badass.
R5. Good job, buddy.
Aww. Ooh. Yeah, dude, those are Gideons!
That's not Gideon. Those are his clones.
Dude, I told you! Yes! Oh, wow, dude. I knew he'd be just this son of a bitch to clone himself like that after that talk about him being the improvement for the next Dark Trooper suits.
Lady Kryze, your reinforcements have arrived.
Hell yeah, they have.
Let's take back our planet.
So I wasn't crazy for diving into that theory, man. I can't wait to see all the videos about people confused about that. Oh! Yo! Wow, dude, this is awesome. Yo! Jeez, man. Yo!
My clones. We're finally going to be perfect. The best parts of me, but improved by adding the one thing I never had, the Force. I was isolating the potential to wield the Force and incorporating it into an unstoppable army. And you smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Good fucking thing, man. Boss fight time. Oh no. Shit, I completely forgot about these three. Grogu!
No.
No. Don't cut away. God damn. Whoa, that was slick. Okay. Oh. Dude, he's at such a disadvantage with this super suit of his that he's going up against. Even if it might not be pure Beskar, it does enhance its user. Yo!
I've got this. Go save your kid.
All right, let's do this.
Bo-Katan Kryze. What's it gonna be this time? Surrender? Or fight?
Oh, yo. Oh, there's a reason that came up, man. Oh. Yes. Team up. Dude, these two are such a good team. Ooh! Ooh!
You did good, kid.
Oh. Oh no. Yeah. He's still in there though.
Clear everyone out. I'm gonna take out the base.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
The Darksaber is gone. You've lost everything.
Not at
Mandalorians
all.
are weak once they lose their trinkets.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Yes. F him up. Maybe evacuate first. But, oh. Dude. If they collapse into the pit and come out on a mythosaur, I will f***ing lose it. Oh, Grogu did a little slide. Good kid. Mom and Dad protected little baby. Holy shit. But he's the one actually protecting them though. You shall not pass. Oh, wow, dude. Dude, you gotta be tuckered out now, right? Yeah. Man, his stamina is up there, though. He's done a lot today. Dude, everyone's alive. I really thought we were gonna lose somebody. Oh, we're at the waters. Oh, actually finishes Creed.
Grogu is my apprentice. He is no longer a foundling. Add him to the song.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed. He must remain a foundling.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here. If they are even alive.
Bitch, that's me.
Then I will adopt him.
Oh, it's official!
This is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son. You are now Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
This is the way.
Din Grogu.
You must leave Mandalore and take your apprentice on his journeys, just as your teacher did for you.
This is the way.
Does he sense it? Does he sense it? Yeah, he does. I'm coming back for you. Din Grogu, though. I would have assumed it would have been like Grogu Djarin or something. Oh, reigniting the Great Forge. Hell yes. I love that they're like also like shared in their views too. We've got unhelmeted and we've got helmeted ones too. They've really kind of bridged that gap. Oh, let's see how this goes. Hey buddy, by the way, we killed Gideon. There's Dave and
your drink, Mando.
gang.
Your kid sure likes the trophies.
There's an IG head.
One of them reminds him of someone he knew. I have a business proposition.
Shoot.
I'm a bounty hunter by trade.
Ah.
Now that he's with me, I'll be more selective in my assignments.
Go on.
Oh, okay, I
We don't have
see.
the resources to protect the Outer Rim, let alone hunt down Imperial remnants. And I need work.
You want to work for the New Republic.
On a case-by-case basis.
Dude, yes.
Independent contractor.
You know, this is against regulation. It'll never get approved.
Which is why you won't tell them.
Let me think about it.
You already did. It's a good deal and you know it.
Is that so?
All I require is a small advance. What I want in return is that.
Think we'll actually get IG back this time?
I want to give you this deed to a cabin just outside of town where you can lay low with your new family if you choose so.
Thank you.
And that goes for you too, Din Grogu.
And I have a gift for you as well.
Greetings, citizens. I am IG-11, your new marshal of Nevarro. I am here to serve and protect the citizenry.
Oh. Oh, their own little hut. Isn't this just the cutest fucking thing, man? Oh, you poor little bastard. You. Oh. Well, damn, dude. Rick, man, dude, get that work done. All right, man. That was fun. Dude, I'm both looking forward to and also dreading the amount of videos that are probably going to get made or questions that are going to be asked about who the heck were the spies? Because I can't really tout that I really would have caught on to it either had I not been illuminated by a singular comment on my last video that really hit the nail on the head, and it turned out to be correct. And I doubt most people saw my tweet, or I doubt most people watched my reaction to like the Easter egg breakdown of the last episode where I went into detail about what that was. So I'll just kind of give a quick little rundown here. So the title of last episode was The Spies. The Mandalorians were being sent down to the surface of Mandalore to spy ahead of their group to make sure it was safe. Because spies, if you go far enough back, is synonymous with scouts. And the reference being made in that was a reference to the 12 spies of Moses. In the Bible, Moses took an individual from all of the 12 tribes and sent them out to go make sure that the promised land would serve as a place for them to settle. That is exactly what the Mandalorians are doing. Those 12 tribesmen were known as the 12 spies. They were sent out to scout ahead, to spy ahead, to make sure that this land that they're planning on occupying is safe for the whole. And that is what happened in the last episode. And even if you go down to it, it was Bo-Katan's plan. So if you count her as the Moses archetype in this story, there were exactly 12 Mandalorians that went with her down to the planet's surface. Because once I read that, it completely flipped my idea on the episode, and I could not see it any other way. And even though I put that out there into the ether, I'll go ahead and like drop a little like ditty to cite the person that actually filled me in on it. I know they had said they heard it from somewhere else, but that was the only place I had seen it until I started echoing that sentiment out there. I just want to thank them because I don't want to take all the credit for it because it's definitely not something I immediately came up with on my own, but it is something that I just gave myself into just right out of the gate because it made the most sense because nobody else had motive to betray anybody, and it didn't make sense for anybody to be a traitor, let alone the armorer, because I know that was everybody's number one suspect. But like a lot of people forget that a lot of things that she would have known or would have told Gideon had she been the traitor, he would have known. There were things he did not know going into that episode that if she was a spy, he should have known. And then also, it was like, oh, it's awfully convenient that she left before everything came down. Well, not really, because as she's leaving is when she's about to be met with a fleet of bombers. So it's not like she's getting out scot-free. She's going right into her own trap. Had they not sent Axe up, they would have been taken out. So that's another thing, too, is Axe put himself on the line to get out there. You know, he had to be... I don't even recall if it was actually his idea to breach up. He was just the fastest one to break away, and Paz gave him cover. Now, a lot of people thought maybe it would be him. That didn't make sense or set right with me either. And then some people were like, Casca Woves. Well, she's like right down to the thick of it. That's another reason, like I was like, it's gotta be the thematic route. You know, the Spies refers to our Mandalorians who are going down to the planet. And I think some people even suspected the rogue Mandalorians that were living on Mandalore by themselves. And again, I didn't really see the motive there either. And I love that another one of my just off-the-cuff theories about Gideon and what he's been doing panned out. We knew they were experimenting with the Force, and that does set up that they're heading down that path as we always knew that they were going to. And like I posited, if you watch my reaction to that breakdown, I think Gideon was trying to do this on the side and empower himself. And with the ego that he has and the level of narcissism that he has, I posited that I wouldn't be surprised if he had started cloning himself and enhancing himself with these genes from these other individuals, these other collectives, and tried to give himself the Force to create some kind of super soldier. And that turned out to be extremely accurate. I wasn't wholly certain that we would take out the prime Gideon, you know, because, you know, there's the whole mustache thing that everybody's really fixated on in the social media sphere. That part of me was like, I wonder if the Gideon we are being fronted with is in fact a clone himself, and that the real Gideon is off in the shadows somewhere. That would be a really tricky thing to do and very Gideon-like. But thankfully, they just squashed that whole thing just all in one swing. Like, these clones never woke up, and we saw their faces the second we got in that room. They were a little obfuscated, but it was pretty clear they were all Giancarlo until we got that close-up shot. And Din just terminated them all, and all that riled him up. Another thing, though, that didn't come to fruition, I saw a lot of people talking about, is why he specified Beskar alloy in the making of his armor. Because as we know, the only thing able to truly deflect the Darksaber or lightsabers in general is pure Beskar. And an alloy is a mix of metals. It's not only Beskar fused upon it. And I thought that was going to come into play. It didn't, though. They pretty much treated it exactly like Beskar. But the way the whole thing like escalated, how Din was able to wrestle himself out of control of his guards, his what do you call it? His detail. He was just able to reflexively get out of that situation. And then Grogu surprised us by showing up and giving him a helping hand. And then they became this dynamic duo, just leading the charge. And then R4 as well actually became a hero in this one, saved the day. We got some little like prequel trilogy nods to the Astromechs and stuff like that. We got him helping out, facing his fears, and kind of living up to that bravado that Pelimoto, sounded off about him when she was selling him to Din. And then just the way that Din systematically infiltrated deeper and deeper into this lair was just so much fun. And then the way the Mandalorians were all rallying together under the pressure and the weight of this entire ordeal, trying to figure out how to get out of this, as Axe gets an update from the ground just as he breaches the sphere of the radio transmission and loses signal, but just in time to make it to the fleet, as the armor has already landed, deposited the injured, and get through that. We're about to be ambushed and put this plan into motion to intercept the interceptors. And then Axe's whole decoy with the cruiser was brilliant. I was really worried for him there, but I like how he last second busted out that window and jumped ship. Also, the way that the gauntlets and everybody evacuated the cruiser and took the lower level ships and hid in the atmosphere, knowing that they'd be obscured by the just the natural frequencies of that storm. They were invisible to the TIE interceptors as they breached and focused in on that cruiser. It was brilliant. That was a brilliant plan. Though it is a little nerve-wracking, because if you can't be seen and all of that stuff that's messing with your systems, it is kind of lucky that nobody just got rammed. Like an interceptor didn't just blindly crash into one of those gauntlets. So that worked out. But they came down, reinforced below, and just the imagery in this, because it was very much like, I don't know how many people have done this, because I know I have. It is very much like upsetting like a hornet's nest or a yellow jacket's nest, because they burrow into the ground. And I've mowed over one by accident, and it is a nightmare. Those things just spew out and they go hard, dude. I've got torn up by a yellow jacket nest once because of that. Didn't see it at all, just pushed a mower right over top of it and just excited the crap out of them. And that's what this imagery looked like to me once they departed the gauntlets and went down. And then we had the troopers coming up from Gideon's forces, and it was just this aerial battle, the armor coming down with their hammers, and then Bo with the darksaber and everybody else is blasting away. There was so much great quick maneuvering across the entire set piece. And then Gideon and his presence just, overwhelming the Mandalorian and taking him down, the enhancements of this suit, even though in a 1-to-1, had it just been a normal Beskar Mandalorian armor, I think it would have been a more even fight. So it does give him an edge, not just defensively, but offensively too. So he was able to get the upper hand there for a hot minute. And I love that no single person took down Gideon in the end in super boss mode. And then when the Praetorian Guards showed up and separated Grogu from the bunch, the tension was really thick there, because I went into this wholeheartedly expecting something really bad to happen to Din, because I felt like that had kind of been trickling in, these little notes throughout this whole season to make me think that something might happen. And especially the comments from the guy that plays in the suit for him said some stuff that made me real worried. But I'm glad that it ended up not being about him specifically, so that worked out in the end. But the way those two worked together and the way that these Praetorian Guards, again, commanded threat, and it required the two of them to really get out of that situation. Then Mother Bo comes in here with the darksaber, takes on Gideon for a minute, but still, again, gets bested. No one's getting upstaged at all, and it really becomes about the uniting of the people. As, again, like I talked about a few... actually, it may have been in the last episode. I can't remember if it was in my discussion on the last episode or if it was in the breakdown discussion about how Bo, Din, and Grogu are like a perfect trifecta to bring balance to the ideals of the Mandalorian people. Like between Din and his upbringing within the Watch, and Bo with her kind of freedom from that, the more classical, more open ideals of the Mandalorian people that she was raised with, and then Grogu with this kind of outsider's perspective that is all centered around unity and peace. They create this nice balance to check each other. It took the Force, it took Din, it took Bo to really power through that moment. And I like that the darksaber is destroyed. I like that symbol, because it's a very problematic symbol, as we've seen time and again. How many problems just the ownership of that thing causes for them. And like Din said in the last episode, it really means nothing to their people. It's really just the story, the idea and character that they care about, but it's just like this idea has been ingrained into their heads all this while, and it feels just like tradition. And this season has been really about breaking some of those traditions and evolving. And we've seen that with the armorer over the course of the season. As Bo's been welcomed into this unit, she starts to open up, seeing things that Din has done and overcome and done in the name of their people also has caused her to open up. So there's been this like shift in ideals that everybody's kind of been experiencing. And like I talked about as well, when I went on my long rant about what this season has really been about, that a lot of people haven't been talking about. And I highly recommend that. Even if you haven't watched my reaction to the last episode, please go and listen to the after reaction like that. I don't really feel like getting into it all over again because this is already going to be a long discussion to begin with, I feel like. But like this was so brilliantly handled the whole way through. Because there is a narrative, thematic, and just like lovely little through line this entire season that really kind of culminated here. They returned and they reclaimed their planet as a people, united, unbroken. And I also like that we saw a little hint along with the mythosaur. I love with that giant ankylosaur creature that busted out, along with that species that was lurking on the outskirts of Mandalorian society. All those things have been thriving here, and we've learned that these Mandalorians that were left behind who managed to make a life here have found these pockets where the original native like plant life is starting to creep back into taking back the planet as well. The planet is trying to heal in the absence of the Mandalorian people in a way. So they have this rebirth and second chance to make something out of this place. The reigniting of the forge, and then the whole thing ending with Ragnar finishing his creed, another Vizsla coming back. And that's another thing I'm kind of confused about, because it's Paz Vizsla, and we've seen many Vizslas. So, but this is Din Djarin. But Grogu took the first name Din. He's now Din Grogu. So I'm so confused about that naming scheme. Because again, like I mentioned earlier, I thought I would have assumed that he would have been like Grogu Djarin or something like that. But that doesn't come off the tongue quite as nicely. I like that whole element. And then, you know, we've always talked about, he's like, oh, he's the protector, he's the papa and all that. But he's legitimately, by creed now, they're not just like a clan of two. They are a family now. And apparently, like, as long as your parent gives you permission, signs your little permission slip and sends you to school, you can upgrade from foundling to apprenticeship, even if you can't speak. And I'm wondering if Grogu's ever going to speak, man. I wonder what the show would even be like if that ever comes about. And I like that we kind of landed back to what the show started off with. We kind of have a full, flat reset. Mandalore's thriving, but because he's taken upon Grogu as an apprentice, he now has to take him out to the world, much like a Jedi and his apprentice would do, and just start their trial, start their training, and broaden them before they can return. It's like these trials and tribulations that they got to go on. And it's nice that, at least during the wake of all of that, he's got a nice little plot of land on Nevarro. And that whole thing swung back around to the IG unit they found at that bar when he visited Carson Teva. We lost some bits of this IG unit, and while its memory unit was just kind of taken out and they rebranded it, they were able to, thanks to that spare head up there, they were able to get, I guess, a working memory unit out of it, install it, and restore IG-11 back to working function, and then leave him as the marshal for Nevarro. And I like that whole aspect of it. And then Din coming back to kind of bounty hunter work, but like legalized bounty work, contract bounty work for the New Republic. You can't get official policing out here. It comes back to another thing that I said. Again, I forget which video. You know, there's an absent in, like, the Jedi leave a void in the galaxy of this group of superpowered beings or enhanced beings with this presence and air about them that are no longer out there patrolling the realms, these planes. And that the Mandalorians, if they succeed in reclaiming Mandalore, could fill that role because it's perfect for them. And he, in a way, is doing just that. He's taking this under the table contract work. He's trying to be a little more up and up about the types of jobs he's taking now that he's a full-on parent, and he's got to kind of worry about that sort of stuff. And he's, you know, they're working together under the table because they know the New Republic doesn't give a shit about what's going on out here, but Carson does. And I like that little back and forth that they had there. That was really, really, really good. It really played into that whole relationship they've kind of built over the last couple seasons. It is just ending with him and Grogu just playing out in their front yard. It's just a nice little close, man. It's almost like we've closed this chapter on all of this. So I'm wondering, what is the next step? You know, Dave's been very coy about what's going on next. You know, there's been talk that the Mandoverse movie that is going to be where all these things are building up towards will kind of shut down this walk. But then again, John has talked about how this could go on for seasons and seasons and seasons. It really can just kind of live for as long as they really want it to. And we could just start a whole other journey after this, or this could be where we leave them for now until we pick back up with them later, or maybe just kind of retire them for a minute. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what direction we go, but I really like all of this because I think as a pocket, as a trilogy of seasons, if you will, they closed out one huge arc beautifully. It's been so good, man. So good. I think I've touched on everything that I want to touch on. You know, once we get to the breakdown that New Rockstars puts out, I'll probably have some more to say, but right now, I think that's the gist of it. I would love to put that conversation out there for you guys and see what happens. So, guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Where do you think it goes from here? Do you think this is the formal end of this journey, this story with the two, or do you think we'll get more adventures? What do you think about the future for Din and Grogu? Oh, that's going to be weird to say because we're so used to calling him Din, so now it's like Din Din. Din. Oh, God. Ringing that dinner bell for a good old Grogu. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. So sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. If you enjoyed this reaction, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. We got Star Wars Visions just right around the corner, so stay tuned and check that out with us as well. And guys, if you want to see the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Benny Scher, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yorick, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Raven McCann, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake Cantrell, Josh Lee, and Tiff. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Everybody who's been supporting us along the way for this journey and just being here every step of the way. Love you guys. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, may the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.